I'm going to start reading some contemplations from Ramdas, The Path of God. And today is really about the sacrificing of self, of which Krishna outlines in the Bhagavad Gita that one of the most profound paths of sacrifice is the sacrifice of oneself. And last night I was listening to a Ramdas lecture on the Be Here Now network, and Maharaji came to Krishna Das and pretty much told him, it's all attachment. You always think about yourself. How can I do this? How can I get this? How can I? When really you need to sacrifice yourself and think about others, or think about what you're sacrificing yourself to. What is your offering today? So everything that you do is an offering to Brahman, is an offering to God, is an offering to a higher power outside of yourself. And every person that you meet is a reflection of that. And so instead of thinking about how can I get it, it's about how can I do this for someone else, or thinking outside of yourself. And at first that's kind of scary for a lot of us, for our ego, but when you tune into it, it becomes so freeing because it's not about you. It's never been about you. But when we cling and we grasp, that is where suffering lies. And so if we can offer ourselves outwards, I find that there's so much peace in that. There's also a lot of resistance, but there's a lot of peace. So every act we do in the light of awareness, we're always asking, am I getting enough? Now we start asking, how can I get rid of all my stuff so I can become part of everything? And that really flips around the meaning of every act. So in the example of food, you get so that you feed your body so that you can maintain the temple, so that by maintaining the temple, you can deepen your wisdom that allows you to increase your samadhi so you can get through your ego, so you can come to Brahman, the ultimate God. And that includes pizza. I mean, it includes all of it. Everything you eat becomes your offering. The offering, the sacrifice, that becomes what eating is all about for you. But using food that way is only the beginning. Your offerings include everything you do, the sneaky stuff too. Like, how about when you just badmouth somebody? You're sitting around and gossiping, and suddenly you think, this is my offering to God at this moment? Far out. Look what I offered God today. Gossip? Greed? Lust? Great. I mean, don't worry about it. Don't judge it. The Brahmin can take it all in. No problem. Just notice your action. Notice what it is that you're offering to God. How about your suffering? Are you offering your suffering to God? Uspenci, in his book on Judith, said, another thing that people must sacrifice is their suffering. Nothing can be attained without suffering, but at the same time, one must begin by sacrificing suffering. As that happens, a shift takes place inside of you. You begin to see your suffering as grace. You don't have to get as far out as the monk standing on the lake and crying, God, give me more pain. You don't have to do a masochistic trip, but you get to the point where when you are suffering, that suffering is your fire of purification. You say, yeah, right. Isn't this hell? Am I ever suffering? See, the suffering is your offering into the fire. There is a lightness which has entered into the suffering at that point, and it's important. You can't sit around and steeped in self-pity and do much sahara. Oh, it's so hard. I'm in this temple and the food is terrible, and oh, how I'm suffering. Not much quality of offering in that. Instead, you become like Swami Ramdas. He was thrown out of a temple and had to spend the night by the river where the mosquitoes kept biting him. He just kept saying to Ram, oh, thank you, Ram, for sending the mosquitoes to keep me awake so I can think of you. And eventually there's another thing that you have to offer. How about you offering up with the fascination of it all? As long as you're still in doing it for the experience of it, the sacrifice is coming up short. You're saying, yeah, I'll throw a little ghee into the fire. That'll be interesting for me. That experiencer, enjoyer, that one has to go too. It doesn't mean you won't enjoy it, but you won't be attached to being the enjoyer. You've sacrificed that too. Of course, then you make a bizarre discovery that the more that you sacrifice, the more that you come into spirit, And the more you come into spirit, the more you get it all. The more you're having it all every moment. But that can't really happen until you've really thrown it away. So there's a couple of beautiful contemplations there. Take what lands. For me, one of my teachers, I've been suffering recently, and he said, perfect. Suffering leads to anxiety, which leads to suffering, which leads to grace, which leads to the medicine of your awakening. And I've really been sitting with that of just everything changes at every moment. And how can we understand that what we've got now is, is offering that suffering? And it, even in the hardest of times, it might sound delusional, but honestly, the knowing that this suffering is a part of my awakening adds lightness to it. There's just like a little bit of light that can shine down of just like, all right, well, here I am, and I'm going to use this for my purification. I'm going to be patient with it. I'm going to know that it will change. And at the same time, when I can see what I'm offering to God each day, what I'm offering as my service, what am I offering? Is it self-pity? Is it the woe is me? Or am I doing little things like qigong or a meditation as an offering up so I can hear more, so I can feel more, so I can clear my energetic body, so the doubt, the pity, the confusion can be cleared out. Maybe I need to dance, maybe I need to chant. And then, at the same time, it's really interesting because there comes a moment where you also just can give it all up. Just say, okay, I surrender, and see what happens then. So it's just a giving up, really back to that thing of like giving up. Am I getting enough? Or how can I serve others? How can I become a part of everything? How can I get rid of me, and instead be one with everything, and sacrifice ourselves? So it's a beautiful contemplation, and there's a lot of aversion to that. There's a lot of desire systems that need to go in that. So it's all just an awareness and a contemplation of how today can I do everything to sacrifice what I'm doing as a way to come into the Dharma of what I'm meant to do, and think of others. Lots of love.